Hello, my name is Dr. Nancy Bray. I teach Introduction to Professional Communication, which is Writing Studies 210. And I also teach Writing Studies 601 Composition Theory, which also has now a CSL component. I use the pronoun she, her. When I first started teaching communication, I started doing the typical university course. I had midterms, final multiple choice exams, and it really became clear to me very, very quickly that this was awful. It was the worst way I could potentially teach communication. So I spent a lot of time thinking how I could make this course more relevant both to the students and to the world around us, and entered the CSL office. I connected with the Community Service Learning office and we talked through what this might look like. And what eventually happened is we have a very robust communications project that the students work on with the community partners. We create communication strategies and tactics for the partners, and that has really helped to teach students this idea that communication is complex. Often in a textbook, communication is really presented as a very straightforward, formulaic type of activity. But if that were so, the world would look so different if we could actually all communicate really well. And I think through the CSL component, we learn about what it means to communicate with different audiences, what it means to communicate through organizations, what it means to work in groups, how can we deal with all of these audiences with great empathy and kindness, but also be effective when communicating with them. I think what I've seen in my students that have done the CSL projects, I think for many of the students, this is the first time that they've worked with nonprofits, or that they've really understood that people who want to change the world can do it through this nonprofit, through a nonprofit organization. That if you have a vision to change the world, you can do it. So my classes work with very small nonprofits to quite large and established nonprofits. And I think this has really given the students that sense of, yes, like I can change the world. It also helps them, I think, understand what it takes to communicate into this really complex environment of our society with the internet, with social media, how to do that on such a small budget. Some students are really shocked at how much things cost and the time that it takes to do proper communication, so that often comes as a surprise. And I think that the thing that I really appreciate that they take away from the CSL work is what it means to work as a team. So they are in teams, 5 to 7 students, and they're learning to think about what it means when, for instance, a student disappears from their group. And we talk about that not necessarily being laziness. So we talk about all the ways in which the complexity of humans enters group work and communication. And I think that that they get a lot from that. I hope that they do anyways. I think the advice that I would give to students that are contemplating taking a CSL course or doing the CSL certificate is really enjoy the ride. So CSL learning, from what I've seen and experienced, it's complicated, it's messy, but that's what makes it exciting. So you get to learn, take all the things that you're learning in the university and see what happens when you practice them in the real world. And I don't think there can be a more engaging learning experience. I know from my own students that sometimes this is daunting because it's not like textbooks, right? You're not gonna solve a problem in a textbook. But embrace that dauntingness, embrace the excitement, because you will be richer, it'll be more fun, I think anyways, to do this learning. And just have a good time with it. Remember that there's more to learning than your grades.